Hello friends, and welcome to another reading vlog. Alright, I already kind of feel like this reading vlog is going to be a little bit of a mess because my reading mood has been kind of all over the place. I did start Fireborn by Rosaria Munda yesterday and I'm really liking it. I'm kind of getting like Russian Revolution meets How to Train Your Dragon right now, which is interesting. I'm not too far into it right now. I'm 36 pages, so just starting off on this one. But I've been sort of getting the urge to read From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I know this book in particular is very divisive. Like, you either love it or you hate it. But I don't know, I'm kind of like in the mood for a fantasy romance at the moment. I don't know, my current like reading list is sort of a mess at the moment. I've just been picking up books and putting them down and I'm finishing them all, but it's taking me longer because I'm like juggling 3 or 4 at a time and it's just kind of a mess right now. I'm also currently procrastinating on editing my Poppy War vlog, which should be up by now. If it's not, I'm mad at myself, but it's currently like at about the hour mark on my timeline. And I need to cut it down, but it's the last thing I want to do right now. So I'm gonna procrastinate a little bit longer. It's a really beautiful day outside. We've had kind of a lot of rain recently, so this weekend has been gorgeous, which is super nice. And I wanted to get out on the porch yesterday to read, but I just got really busy, so I'm gonna make some time today. I think I'm gonna start From Blood and Ash because I'm chaos in my brain right now. But yeah, so I figured I'd vlog, maybe take you out on the porch with me, get some footage of some pretty flowers that are starting to bloom, and yeah, so come along for the ride if you're interested in hearing my thoughts about either of these books in this vlog. Quick update. I am 106 pages into this. I have no idea what being a maiden means, what being ascended means, other than immortality, I think. I have no idea if that's accurate. I'm struggling with this one. Hello. This is gonna be a little awkward. So at the beginning of this reading vlog, I told you I was starting From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I thought I was gonna really like this book. I knew going into it that it was pretty controversial. Like, it's a fantasy romance. I think some fans of more like heavier fantasy were kind of disappointed by the lack of world building and just that this book leans heavily into the romance. But I figured I like romance, I like fantasy, I don't mind lighter fantasy. So I thought I was the right target audience for this book. Apparently not, because I DNF'd this one. And I don't DNF books very often. I tend to be a bit of an optimist. I keep kind of hoping it's gonna get better, it has to get better. This book has a 4.32 rating on Goodreads. What? And it won the Goodreads Romance Award for 2020 in the same year that Emily Henry's Beach Read and Talia Hibbert's Take a Hint, Danny Brown came out. I'm not saying they were robbed, but I just don't quite understand why this is so popular. And I'm not saying that Goodreads scores or awards are the end-all be-all of a book's quality, but this is a really popular book. I know Illumicrate and I believe Fairy Loot are coming out with like special edition book boxes for this whole series, and it's gotten a lot of momentum online. It's really popular on TikTok too. So again, I thought I was gonna like this book, and I only got like 120 something pages in, and I'm not trying to sit here and rant about it, but I feel compelled to express my disappointment a little bit just because, again, this was a really hyped book and I just don't get it. And because I didn't get very far into it, I can't really talk too much about plot points I didn't like. A lot of what just made me furious about this book as I was reading it was the writing style. It was horrible. It's a really sort of vague time period, and a lot of fantasy kind of takes place in a proto-medieval setting unless otherwise stated. So that's kind of what I expected going into this, especially where there's like kingdoms and fantastical elements. Well, it's more actually paranormal. There's like vampires and werewolves and stuff. Anyways, not saying that stuff is specific to the medieval era or anything reminiscent of that, it's just that's kind of the impression I got going into it. But very quickly, our main character Poppy finds herself talking about how some of the more expensive homes in the city have electricity. So I'm like, okay, I guess maybe more of like a late 19th century, I don't know. So again, the time period was really vague and that just kind of frustrated me. That's not a deal breaker, but it was just something stupid. Beyond that though, this is getting like so nitpicky and I'm so sorry, but Jennifer L. Armentrout abuses the hell out of ellipses. Like, at least once a page, there's a ... for, like, dramatic emphasis, and it just drove me bonkers. Normally, I am not the type to get, like, super picky about that kind of stuff, but it just feels really amateur. This woman has written so many books, I was really just surprised at how amateur her writing felt. But yeah, like I said about the setting, I thought a lot of the details were just like incredibly vague, and that just became frustrating to me after a while. I don't know if she was building up for like a reveal, but like I got over 100 and something pages into it. I still don't know what ascending means. It's something that Poppy's gonna do when she turns 19 and she's really worried about it, but I don't know why. It's not like she's the only person in society that ascends. It's mentioned that second children of noble families ascend. I don't know what it means, but it happens. Also, Poppy's role in society is that she is a maiden, and this is important apparently because it means she can't speak to people. People can't look at her. They're not supposed to see her face, like, at all. And she's supposed to lead a very solitary life. Now, I don't know what a maiden is. Again, over 100 pages into the book, and you have no idea what the hell that means. And so you don't really quite understand or empathize with Poppy and, like, the sacrifice she's making to be this person. And it wasn't necessarily her choice. And she wasn't born into it, I don't think. It seems like she was picked by the queen or by the gods or whatever, but you don't know what a maiden is or what they do in society, so you don't really care that she is one. Furthermore, for all these things that she's not supposed to do, she does it all the time. Literally every character she comes across sees her face, she talks to, she touches. Like, Jennifer L. Armentrout is saying one thing but showing another. So that was really frustrating because, like, as much as Poppy complains about, I live a very sheltered life, it doesn't really seem like it. I interacted with fewer people during quarantine than this girl does in the first 100 pages, you know? Like, it's just, I didn't buy it. And continuing from that, again, she mentions how sheltered she is. She does not act like it at all. She sneaks out. She goes to, like, a bar at the very beginning of this book, or it's like a brothel or something. I don't know. A pub. Again, hard to tell because the writing is incredibly vague. But she's able to sneak around sort of in plain sight and fool people into thinking that she's like a normal person. But she doesn't act socially awkward, and you'd think that someone who has been shut away for a good chunk of her life would act it, you know, like would feel very out of place and not understand certain social conventions. Again, Poppy is saying all these things and complaining about all these things that just don't ring true, and that just really frustrated me and made me like not like her. I'm sorry. I don't mean to, like, if this is your favorite book, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like personally attack it or anything. It's just these are all the reasons like this just didn't work for me. And honestly, I can't even get into the romance aspect of this book because in the first 100 and something pages, you barely see the love interest. Like, he's in the first chunk where Poppy is pretending to not be the maiden, and she's like at this bar, and he assumes that she's someone that she's not, and is like starts touching her and kissing her. And you'd think someone who isn't touched and kissed ever would be more like, about this, but she's not. She's like, wow, he's hot. But from the small glimpses I did get, I didn't care for him. He was very rude and brash, and I know people like a bad boy. I like a bad boy in certain contexts, but like, he keeps calling her princess even after she's like, ew, stop. And it's just, I don't know. I can't say much about Hawk because that was really the main scene we saw him in. There was one more where he like volunteers to look after her at a funeral or something, and she knows it's him, but he doesn't know it's her because she's wearing her veil. So I don't know. I didn't get the hype. Sorry. Again, I rarely DNF books, but this one was just not vibing with me, and it's 600 pages, and I didn't want to suffer through something just to be able to talk about it. I haven't decided if I'm gonna drop this in a little library yet or just donate it to my bookstore. I have a hard time with like romances. I feel like little libraries, I try to put more like family-friendly books in there because I don't know who's gonna wander in and pick them up. This book wasn't for me, and I'm really disappointed because it's super popular, and I wanted to be in the know. I wanted to get the hype. There's such a big like fan community about this book, so I didn't DNF this lightly. I really tried to give this a good shot. I think if you get 100 pages into a book and you're still not feeling it, I think it's totally fair to put it down. So that is what I'm doing. So sorry again if you were excited to hear my thoughts about this book. I don't really have a lot other than like, I didn't like it. Let me know down in the comments, do you like this book? Did I give it up too soon? I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry this vlog turned out to be so short and negative. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please feel free to comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and have a great day. Bye.